I don't know how I feel about this one, faithful. Let's get it. Welcome to the Cayman's Island podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, David Cayman. And in today's show, guys, I want to give you my thoughts on the Jaguars versus 49ers game coming up this Sunday at 4:05 Eastern at Levi's Stadium. I don't know why I feel this way, but I don't have an optimistic outlook for this game at home this weekend. I don't know if it's because I'm still a little bit hurt about losing Nick for the remainder of the season. I don't quite know what it is. If it's the lack of production in the run game, just how we rush the passer and what our win rate is without Nick Bosa on the field. But let's dive into this thing, guys. First and foremost, Niners, of course, 3-0, atop of the division. We've had some fortunate circumstances, worked real hard, grinded real hard to get to this 3-0 start. And it's really character building, and I'm happy about where we're at, sitting at the top of the division with the undefeated record, also undefeated in the division. That's a win-win scenario, of course. Then you have the 2-1 Jaguars, right? You take a look at their win record. They've got wins against the Carolina Panthers, nothing to write home about. You got a win against the Texans, which they played at home. Their one loss was away in week 2 against the Bengals, and it was a Joe Burrow-less Bengals at that. So you got their home wins were 26-10 against the Panthers, and then at home against Houston, 17-10, and their one loss coming again at the hands of the Bengals on the road, 31-27. Now you might be thinking, hold on here. Their wins are against subpar teams, subpar offenses specifically, and I would agree with that. I think where I'm at with this one, guys, is they got a super fast, athletic, feisty defense. I feel that the 49ers' strengths along the offensive line are definitely at the tackle position. You got Big Trent doing Big Trent things. And then on the other side, you got Colton McKivitz playing above average football, in my opinion. In fact, last game, I'm not certain if you saw that filthy pancake block over there when Brian Robinson ran over there to his side. It was quite nice. I personally enjoyed. I always love a good pancake block. With that said, though, you got to look at what the strengths of the Jaguars are, right? So at the edge on their side, you have Josh Hines Allen and you have Trayvon Walker. I really feel like I'm not sitting here saying any of those guys are going to beat Trent or cause a bunch of problems over there to McKivitz, but the reality is I think they nullify one another. Where my direct concern lies is going to be up the middle. As everybody knows, man, Connor Colby, Dominic Pooney, you got a rookie and you got Dominic Pooney for what I would say, if you made me say it out of my mouth right now, has definitely had some struggles, knocking some rust off. I know he's had some injury issues, but there is a man by the name of Eric Armstead that I'm very confident would like to get some payback against us, especially at home. I'm very concerned about their middle pressure against our offensive line. Another thing that pains me to say this, because I love me some Brock Purdy. But the reality is, guys, the last few times we've seen Brock, some of these passes has been a bit head-scratching. I have to be honest. I'm a pro-Brock guy, and I try to give Brock the benefit of the doubt, but the eye test is the eye test. Last few games we've seen from Brock, the first game this year where he toughed it out and helped us pull out that win against a tough Seattle defense. There were a few throws where it was head scratching, and let's be honest, the one that he even threw in the end zone to win the game could have gone either way, if we could just be honest. And you look at some of the throws from last year when he was pressing, and it's concerning. I want to see a game from Brock where he is old Brock, where all the throws are right, where all the throws, not saying the man can't make a mistake. Nobody's going to go the entirety of a game with 30 possible pass attempts. I'm just throwing a number out there, and every single pass is going to be absolutely perfect. That's not the case. All quarterbacks struggle with passing at some point in the game. I just want to have a game where Brock has no turnovers, makes good decisions. And we know, we've seen it with our own eyes, he's completely capable of that. It's just that this defense is very feisty. Look, I don't care what team it is. Having 7 interceptions is serious. I believe the Jaguars have a total of 9 turnovers already in 3 games. If I'm not mistaken, that matches their entire season total from last year. So with that being said, guys, 7 picks is 7 picks. I know it's against Carolina and Houston and Cincinnati and all that, but look, this is pro football. And I feel like if Brock goes out there with some erratic passes, I think the Jags might actually make us pay. Then my other concern on the other side of the ball is the fact that if you give Trevor Lawrence time, this guy's got all the tools. He's got all the talent. Now, folks want to say that the man's a bust or a mid quarterback. I'll give him the title of mid. I think in order to earn a type of contract that he's getting right now, you got to have some more playoff wins than what the Jaguars have. I think they have since Trevor Lawrence has been quarterback, I believe they have 1 playoff win. And for that contract, you got to produce a bit more than that. So with that said, if you give the man time, though, he can make NFL caliber throws. Their run game is very good. Right now, they're averaging 23.3 points per game. The Niners are averaging 19.7. And I'll tell you right now, 19 points is not going to beat this team. We need more than 19 points, I believe, to pull out this victory. Now, a lot of folks may feel that I might be puffing up the Jaguars. I'm not at all. I'm not puffing up the Jaguars at all. I do feel like Brock Purdy's going to play in this game. I know that the 49ers have been coy on that. It just seems, from what I can see from some of the replays I've seen of practice, Mac looks to be more hobbled than Brock. I would say I feel like if I had to bet the house on it, I think Brock Purdy plays. And all in all, the game's going to be decided on the turnover game. Whoever wins the turnover battle, I feel like wins this game. No doubt, every day of the week, twice on Sunday, for sure. From a statistical standpoint, I know that we've definitely struggled in the run game, and the Jaguars have done very well in the run game, and that's something that we have to pay attention to, especially with Nick Bosa not over there on the other side to set that edge. Michael, I believe, is going to step up. Bryce Huff, I believe, is going to step up, no doubt. D. Winters is all over the field. I'm not saying our season's completely over because Nick Bosa's not there. I'm just saying the reality of the situation is that you can't replace Nick Bosa. I'm not even sure if you replace Nick Bosa instantly, even if for whatever reason we were gifted Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati. I'm not so sure. He's great and all, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure day one he's plug and play into our system producing like Nick would. So all that being said, if I had to give a prediction, guys, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I'm going with my feelings on this one, and I'm going with strengths and weaknesses on this one. For whatever reason, I feel this is a 24-23 loss for us at home. Please understand, I want to be very clear. I want to be wrong. I want to do my next show saying how wrong I am and how much I know nothing about NFL football, because I definitely want us to start the season 4-0. Look, man, I want us to continue this trend. I want us to have a 7-1, 8-0 record, so that way come the trade deadline, we go out there and we get crazy and we try to pick up a piece or two to make a legitimate Super Bowl run. And tell me what you guys think. Am I puffing up the Jaguars a bit too much here? Am I a bit in my feelings because of what happened in Nick Bosa? Like I said, I have a bad feeling about this one, and I do feel like whoever wins this turnover battle almost guaranteed wins this football game. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. As always, if you like what you saw today, please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, take care and be blessed.